Hi, I'm Susan Malillo, Center Director here at Wake Forest Brain Balance Center, and I'm sitting here with Sherry Dillard, and we're going to be talking to her today about her son Hayden, who's 6 years old and he's in our program. Tell us a little bit about Hayden.
Hayden is just a fantastic little boy who is very caring, but has had a hard time showing that. And he's also very social, which is a little different for kids with autism.
Right.
But sometimes he isn't quite sure how to show emotion. But that's something that we've been working through for a while now. And we've been noticing a lot of growth, especially here in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, Hayden was first evaluated here at our center back in March, and actually came into our home program at the end of March and has started coming to the center here in June. So he's about 6 weeks into the program. He's almost halfway through. So
Yes.
what kinds of things have you been seeing change in him?
Well, change-wise, we have seen actually a lot. We have gone through, just in the last 2 weeks, he's had this kind of Tigger effect where he has been bouncing around like crazy, especially the last week and a half. And you guys told us that this was going to happen, and that if it did, and we started noticing behaviors, that it would last maybe about a week or 2 weeks. And I don't think it was even quite a week and a half. So, I mean, y'all were right on target with that. He just seemed to be running about 100 miles an hour wherever he went. And he was literally running. And he would run from the back door to the front door. He would run into me or to the dog or to my husband.
Right.
And he's been seeking, that physical contact. But we know that it's a good thing, because his right brain is starting to come alive,
Right.
and he's starting to experience things that he has not in the past, and he's starting to go through stages that he should have already gone through.
Right.
And he's doing that very quickly. One of the other things that he has started doing is lying, which is a little difficult as a parent to see your child lie, but we know that it's a good thing, because that is a stage that all children go through.
It is, and he had such rapid progress. The plasticity in his brain, he was just shot up. He was ready for change, and so we've seen some bouncing there, and things are starting to level out. What other kinds of things is he doing that he's not been able to do before? I know you mentioned swimming. One of the things that.
Yes, he has always had a fear of water. He would be fine in the bathtub, but if I ever took him into a pool, he has definitely had fear. We would have to put the little swim rings on him, as well as one going around him, and he would, just have that death grip. And it had to do with proprioception and his body awareness. And if he could not touch the bottom of the pool, he did not feel comfortable in there. And so we have felt in the last few years that we have made some progress, but this year we made real progress. We have been having swim lessons done by my husband's cousin, which having that comfort level, really kind of helps too. But he's now able to go into the pool with just a noodle under him and swim. And he is actually swimming, and seeing him comfortable with his body and putting his face in the water, and just having that comfort level is really big.
Right. Now, nutrition-wise, Hayden had some things that we had to pull out as far as sensitivities. And how hard has that been for you guys?
Not hard at all. Hayden was diagnosed with autism at age 3. 2 days after he was diagnosed, I immediately took gluten out of his diet. We took milk out of his diet for the most part. We would do gluten-free pizza, but we would allow him to have cheese. So we didn't really do that completely. And I don't think that we realized that we were still hurting him in some ways by allowing him to have that part of the nutrition that his body just wasn't able to handle. One of the things I love about Brain Balance is having the LCAT test done.
Right.
Because that test provided a lot more insight into Hayden, and why he has had some of the reactions that he has. I mean, we were asking questions like, what's going on? Why are his little ears still getting red? Why are his cheeks getting red? Why is he getting little bumps?
Right.
When we took out gluten, or if we were doing really great where he hadn't had cheese, and so he wasn't getting any casein either.
Right.
And now we know, well, he has a high intolerance to high fructose corn syrup, which is in almost everything. And I mean, even applesauce.
Right.
I was looking at ketchup today that, first I was trying to give it to him because it was gluten-free. It has high fructose corn syrup in it. So he's highly sensitive to that. And so now we have learned that, just to really read every label very well. The only other thing that we really had to take out is honey. I was giving him honey peanut butter every day. We've taken that out, and most of the other foods that he does have intolerance to, it hasn't been an issue because he either doesn't eat them or wouldn't eat them very often. He's always had limited food choices, and I think that had to do a lot with the texture, that he would look at something and decide that he wasn't going to try it anyways.
And I think one of the things that I love most about Hayden is the way he's embraced the program, because he will ask you, am I correct, is this gluten free?
Yes.
So he embraces what he can have and not have.
Yes.
And he adjusts to that and just goes forward and is a happy little guy just with what he can have.
Yes.
So I love that. And one other story that I know that I always enjoy hearing, you guys wrote a testimonial up for this, just about this little snippet, but his time in like snuggle time with you has gotten longer, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Hayden, like I said, he has always been, he has been able to show affection. We can tell that he loves us, that he cares for us, but it would be very quick hugs, and it would usually be on his time. We would ask him for it, and he would kind of come over and he would give us that hug, but it was usually a very quick and kind of hard hug, and then he would go away.
Right.
Well, now he's coming to us, and he wants to come and, even at 6 years old, he wants to come and sit in our lap and just snuggle with us, or, he wants to come and jump in the bed and snuggle with us, or on the couch, and it's lasting for more than 15 seconds. So,
Which is great.
He's become a snuggle bug, and I think again, it comes down to his body awareness and how comfortable he is with his body.
Yes, I love hearing these testimonials every time we get together and talk. There seems to be something new, that he's doing and experiencing. Well, just, finally, what I'd like for you maybe to share is, when you think about other parents, I know you were out there talking about brain balance to other parents. What would you, like for them to know about your experience with brain balance? What would you tell other parents?
There's a lot that I could tell. Since Hayden was 3, I could not tell you how many doctors we've been to, how many different therapies we've been to. We have, as parents, we have always been very proactive in trying to search out the best that we can find for him, because we weren't just willing to just sit back and say, he's autistic, he's going to be how he is, and just let it go. We have always been proactive, but we knew that there was still something missing, and that there was still something that we could do. And we learned about brain balance when Hayden was 4, I believe, and we started learning that it was something that could make more deep down changes, and I kind of kept that in the back of my mind because he was not old enough at that time to start program, and he was doing really well at that time too. After going through two years of pre-K, he was starting kindergarten, and he was going to be mainstream, and we were so excited. But then this year in kindergarten, we heard from his teacher a lot that his focus just was, he was learning what he needed to, but he was not able to focus. So we knew there was something more that was deep down that we couldn't just fix for him, that we couldn't just search out some sort of a quick therapy. It wasn't just speech therapy or occupational therapy, that we had to go further, and we pulled that brain balance ticket out of the back of our pocket that we had kind of stuck back there. And what I really love about brain balance is, instead of dealing with issues on the surface, you go straight to the root and deep down, and like that iceberg.
Right.
It's everything that you don't see that's causing those problems on the surface, and we're fixing those. And we're going back to primitive reflexes. Hayden had all of them.
Right.
We had no clue.
Right.
And so we're doing our exercises every day, 3 times a day, trying to get rid of them. It's a lot of work, but as a parent, especially when your child is younger, if you can put that work and that effort into it, you're only going to make their life so much easier and the best that it can possibly be. Brain balance for us, even though we're only halfway through, we love coming here. We look forward to every Monday, Wednesday, Friday of knowing that he's going to be coming and getting help from you guys to work on that weak side of his brain, to get him caught up to where he needs to be. And we're already, I'm pretty sure we're seeing changes after just the 2nd week.
Yeah, I think you were coming in and saying, you were telling us, I think it was a story about the he had had a bad dream a couple of nights before or something,
Yes.
and he was reasoning his way into mom and dad's bed
Yes.
instead of whining and crying.
Yes.
And it was just like, no, here's the reason why. And so,
Uh-huh.
yeah, so he did. He experienced some change pretty quickly. And
Yes.
that's, again, he went through the home program time, which kind of prepared him
Yes.
for what was going to happen when he started coming. And you guys have done such a phenomenal job of doing what we've asked you to do with the home exercises and with the nutrition and the supplements. And so all of that put together, and Hayden's willing to just embrace and work, because he's working the hardest of anybody, has been because of the success that you guys are seeing. So
We're so excited to be here and to have this opportunity and to have the support of you guys and, you know, our families and our friends that know that Hayden is going through this, and we couldn't ask for a better situation.
well, thank you for spending some time with us today, just to tell us what's going on with him.
Thank you.